My Roommate is a Vampire by Dennis the Menace, read by Deathlight, Chapter 20, Bright Lights. There's just something about our brain that takes a few seconds to fully process things. By the time I had read the note and fully understand its meaning, I was already in a state of panic. I like to think of it as our head giving us time to sort things out. Before things finally hit home, Vinyl was gone. I was alone. Wait a minute! I'm part wolf! I declared triumphantly, dropping the note. I can sniff her out! Bending down to pick up the note, I realized there was a backside to it. P.S. Don't try sniffing me out, cause I masked my scent with Victoria's Secret fragrance. What do you think, Princess? If you would excuse me for a moment, Octavia, Luna said, her head solidly connected to her bedroom wall. Princess? She held her hoof up to silence me. It was actually starting to look like it hurt. I think I'm done, she said finally, rubbing her head. Wait, no. She slammed her head a few more times before there was a visible bump on her head. Vinyl Scratch, you imbecile! Wait, what should we do? What can we do? What if she blows up the castle? Then we shall increase security. Vinyl Scratch is out there, on the loose, intent on murder, Princess. And I still can't figure out what she even has against the Silver Streak mare. Perhaps you not feel the same way she does, because you fail to see things from her perspective. How can I? She hadn't said a word. She's an enigma, Princess. Even when we promised there'd be no more secrets. Vinyl may have still been doing this to protect me, but I thought I made it clear I didn't need protecting. This couldn't be going on. This relationship we had felt fake. The attraction was there, but the conversation was lacking. I'm the wrong pony to speak to about this. Though what I can say of what Silver Streak did to Vinyl Scratch was unforgivable. That made no sense. Octavia, it is midnight. I am tired and so are you. Vinyl Scratch does what she usually does, and we still can't figure out how her brain functions. So in the meantime, perhaps we both should catch up on some sleep. I nodded. The files you have requested is over there. Thank you. On my way through the street, I caught a glimpse of Club Canterlot. It was still in one piece somehow, and looked on its way to being back to tip-top shape to serve as a club lifestyle. I didn't go home. I took a bundle of newspapers and went to the nearest bar I could find. It was the only place I could think. Back home, things felt empty. At least at night, the city would keep me company, with its bright lights. I'd been at the bar until the crack of dawn, I suspected, drinking away my sorrows with some sparkling water. I was just on my way out the door, the folders hidden in my saddlebags before I passed a certain pony. Hello, Octavia. I wasn't even a menacing kind of introduction. That was the problem. All this time I imagined a kind of conversation, with Silver Streak would play out in some sort of dramatic fashion, with Latin chatting and opera music in the background, with lots of slow motion. Instead, what I got was some mare I just happened to bump into on the sidewalk, saying hello. Her velvet voice was enough to send a chill up my spine. Only this mare had all the evidence she needed to ruin my life. That made things personal. I had already broken the conditional rule of going after some pony with malevolent intentions. You never made things personal. She sat down and ordered a drink, some cocktail of some sort. I didn't care. Hello, I said as icily as I could, slowly taking a seat as far away as possible yet still within earshot. The bar was empty, save for the bartender, who decided it was a good time as any to take a smoke break outside in the back. And there she was, in all of her silver glory. I hated that dull color with a passion, but even more than just her color, I hated her face. She smiled pleasantly. It wasn't even remotely a malevolent smile. It was a calm, amiable smile that still betrayed a superiority complex behind it. I wanted to wring her neck and smash my hoof into that smirk. Are you stalking me? Rip her throat out, tear her to pieces. Shut up! Perhaps. I smiled back a little toothfully, my eyes flashing. You know, you should probably bomb the place before telling me about it. Oh, I think you understand if I hadn't intended to kill her. Silver Streak smirked. So it was payback for what happened at Equestria Daily. Though I have a feeling that Club Kennel will be up and running before you know it, she said. It's amazing what taxpayers' bits goes to nowadays. They certainly didn't account for this. How did they? A shame about Silverstone, I said casually. A loss. Fraternizing with the enemy. I stepped over the edge. More appropriately, I slipped. But it was alright. I'd probably jumped over the edge more times than Vinyl had crossed the line, which is saying something. Seeing as Vinyl liked to cross the line twice, and to tap dance on top of it just to make sure she had done it with style. So why all of this? Pardon? Why all the trouble? Why the effort to spy on us, hunt us down and out us? She said nothing, taking a sip. You've clearly got some shock in the situation, I remarked wearily. I can't imagine a mayor who'd go through all this trouble trying to ruin my life, to have no reason to do so. We all have our reasons, she said with a sniff. Could it be because of what happened to your parents? And just like that, her little facade of stoicism flattered. Almost as if I scratched that glass wall separating me and her. It was a long, jagged scratch, and with my words, I suddenly made something that was just business into something personal. You never made things personal. She seemed to stumble, even in a sitting position, as she whipped her head towards me, her eyes ablaze with fury. You read my records! I read your records. It certainly can't be a coincidence, can it? Your parents are murdered by what appears to be a wolf. You know nothing. I read the autopsy files. A timber wolf clearly attacked your parents. It was an unfortunate accident, and now you blame us. You don't dare speak of my parents, you filthy mutts. You believe that lie, don't you? I know who to blame. You surely can't blame it on all of us for what happened. Wouldn't you? She spat. You're blaming an entire species on an act of one. Does that not sound illogical? And that is exactly where you are wrong, Octavia. It is simply not the act of one. How many times have a fool come home to find their parents slaughtered? I'm sure you can give me an estimate, I said callously. You are all monsters, beasts, look at you! Silverstreak snapped, pointing an accusing hoof. You, of all ponies, could barely contain herself from hunting down a poor bunny. Imagine that was some innocent pony. My lip twitched. I didn't even want to consider that possibility that I could have injured another pony. I didn't think I could live with myself if I kept thinking like that. But she was right. The possibility was still there. And there was no doubt in my mind that there was ponies that got hurt along the way. Much as we all like to pretend, Equestria wasn't a la-la land. Even so, she was a hypocrite. Who was innocent and who was guilty? Could she distinguish which one of us had done wrong? According to her, all of us were evil, and we'd all be going down. You're dangerous, and I'm going to show the world. It must give you some sort of satisfaction, yes? Ruining another pony's life, that certainly embodies the element of harmony. There is no other way to deal with your kind. So you must stoop down to the level of an animal to deal with us? How appropriate. It is the only way. Right, of course, I said sarcastically as I mocked her. I'm sure you have Vinyl in your clutches. Oh! Her eyes lit with admonishment and mockery. Looks like Luna's right-hand mare has gone rogue. How interesting. Did she leave you as well? I don't know what you're talking about. I turned away with a huff. You'll find out sooner or later what kind of mare she is, Silverstreak said ruefully. Either she'll get to you first, or I will. I shrugged. It was mostly a bluff. A desperate grasp at anything to tip the odds in my favor. Big talk. Look who's talking, I shot back. You still think you got the upper hoof? She snapped, a little annoyed. That's because I do, I said, tilting my shades down. That's because you've got nothing. I'm the one who decides whether or not you wake up in chains tomorrow, thrown into every free forest, dog. Do you think I still care about one candid picture? Even if you go to another newspaper agency, Princess Luna would still intersect it. You're lying. I was. Face it, Silverstreak, you've lost your own bargaining chip. Fuck you! Fuck me, yes. I'm irresistible. Look at these juicy flanks. I laughed, sashaying as I trotted away. Though I suspect you're not into mares. We'll see who gets the last laugh! She shouted after me. Ha! I laughed. Ha!